Hey guys, I'm out here in an area I've never fished before, and there's a lot of places in East Texas that I've never been, but this is a brand new one to me. I'm way on the very north end of a reservoir, pretty big reservoir, and it's super shallow some areas, but there's like some laydowns, some cover, some pretty unique stuff. But it's basically the old original creek before this lake was flooded. It's about 2 o'clock and it's been raining on and off, storming. It was probably around 60 this morning. It's already in the 50s. It's cold front's coming, and I wanted to see if I could put my boat in here and try to catch a couple before the rain really got pounding and this front really started to have an effect on the fish. So here we go. Probably be out here for a couple hours. Hopefully we can catch some big bass. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. Let's go get them. So this is a pretty cool place because there's a lot of old root systems that are just washed out from the current over the years of just high water, low water. So this is kind of a pretty cool little area. I think we're getting a little bit of rain pushing hard right now. Hung up on a little limb right there. There you go, came off. There's definitely some current coming down this creek. Of course, we've had some rain this morning and I think a little bit through the night. So, but another thing that it has going is it's pretty clear up here, which is real cool. I thought it'd be dirty from just whatever runoff that we've had, but apparently it's not. It's got definitely some current pushing through here, powering up the Lowrance. We've got 6 feet in the center. The leaves will make presentations a little challenging, but we're just exploring. I mean, that's what this is all about. I've got a couple hours to kill. I went out with some guys this morning, caught a few on the lake, was headed home, and just thought, man, I've never fished over here. I love all these big old logs and root systems, little undercut banks. Only way you really learn how to get around places like this is just to put the boat in, and hopefully the current doesn't run you up on top of something like this little shallow sandbar. Really shallow little sandbar right here. Old Mr. Heron over there. That's what we're doing. Little exploratory creek trip. Pitch a jig around too. Got a pile of rods there, some different baits. Okay, which way? Do you cut to the right or to the left? Looks like to the right's got more water for me. Water temperature is 64. Not too cold. I would say there's gotta be some spots up in this creek. I gotta say, this spot looks awesome. I would just think that you'd be able to catch them right here. There we go. Haha, look at that. That was cool. Little spinnerbait bass. I don't even know if he's keeper or not. He doesn't look like keeper. 13-incher. He's stocky though. Had to find out. That's number 1. Wood on a channel swing bank. That's actually not very surprising. In the fall, a lot of times I'll catch them on a white bladed spinnerbait. White blades in the fall. I just feel like it mimics the shad a lot, especially on days like this where it's overcast. Spinnerbait's a Strike King 3/8 ounce Premier Plus. I love throwing a spinnerbait. That's the spot right there where you think there'd be one. I want to try to get off the water by 4. My wife's got somewhere to go this evening, so I'll be hanging out with the kiddos, which I always enjoy. We're kind of watching a little series on Amazon. We all like to do that together. Bait was trying to run away from something. It may be a scenario where I need to put on a little swim bait, just because the spinnerbait might be a little overwhelming here. Water's really clear and I can see the spinnerbait coming through the water. I think downsizing is the key. Probably what I want to do just to maximize bites. I love little river systems and stuff like this. It's a killer little spot right here. How am I going to get across that log? That'll be interesting. I don't want this to be the end of the road for me. Fortunately, I think that's the end of the road for me. Yeah, I can't get over that. Probably gonna have to come back with a kayak. That's a bummer. Well, that's it. End of the road. Let's put on a little spinnerbait. Well, with that lay down, it's too shallow over there to get through. And I can't get over that section. I think it's too shallow over there. I don't have a push pole. Dude, I might be able to. I'm gonna push hard on the right here. And when I get past it, look at that. Got through there. How cool is that? That's why you have an aluminum boat. That was awesome. Little stump right there. This. Doesn't seem to be happening on the little 3/16 ounce Premier Plus. Let's go with the jig. Okay. Come on, Mr. Spinnerbait. Do your thing. There you go. Yes. That one's got to be a keeper. That one's a keeper right there. Nice little chunker. All right. And a little eddy there. I actually saw one roll out on this little spinnerbait. And he didn't get it though. It's like he barked at it. You ever see fish bark at it? They come up and they just go, oh, oh, oh. But they don't get it. It's like, I need to put on a trailer hook. That's what I need to do. But I did, I downsized to this 3/16 Premier Plus from that 3/8. I like those river chunks. Oh, the big old mudfish right there. I like fishing areas with current. You can kind of see exactly where they're going to be. Like, that's an ideal spot right there. I mean, I know I'm kind of like on my spinnerbait, but that's a place where you pitch a little plastic or a little jig, because you just know that current's just hitting right there on the face. Fish are going to be positioned on that stuff. And I'm just running with the current. I'm covering water right now, just trying to find a... I'm exploring. I want to see this area. I mean, I think I could just catch some fish on this little spinnerbait around these little current breaks and pieces of wood. Lure placement's kind of key right here, because you've got exact little areas where these fish are going to be. Here we go, here we go. Look at this. This is just an ideal little spot. You just see some fish, you know, another little current break with a root system, root wad. I'm gonna put this little swim bait on the back of that. I'm gonna have to trim it down some. I do like to kind of take the hard edges off. Sure hope I don't get caught out here in a storm. Here we go, look at this. Get that little swim bait on there, that's going to get even more bites. At least I believe it. I think conditions are perfect for me to catch them on this little spinnerbait in this really clear water, when I think a lot of times you probably couldn't, just because not only is the water clear, but they probably stick tighter to the bottom or the cover of the root systems and stuff. You know, I'm kind of sold on this spinnerbait. It may not be the deal, but I'm kind of I'm having fun with it, and that's what fishing's all about, is having fun. I love throwing a spinnerbait. It's such a great fish producer. Over the years, I've done so well with it. And it catches big fish. Even these little spinnerbaits do. Got good depth in here, 8 feet of water. Pretty sure I need to throw that square bill some more. Let's try the square bill. Little 1.5. Wind's starting to really funnel through here. Interesting how we're not getting bit on these middle of the creek stumps. Lots of cover. Cover rich environment. Kind of surprised. There we go. Just that little current break right there. Boy, these little river fish are chunky. You know they're not missing any meals, right? See another one on there. Okay, it might be a situation where you got to pull it with the current. Bringing it to them can sometimes be the difference. It's like they're facing upstream. They're waiting for that meal to come there, and then you just present it just the exact way that makes the most sense, the most natural. But not only that, it's just what they're used to. The last time they had a meal was just like that. Most times when they have a meal, it's probably like that. So maybe we've done an about face. It's getting cold out here. Maybe we can catch a good one on the way back out of here. Let's hit as many of these running into the current. It's fun stuff right here. That's one thing. Usually places that I go on tour are the only places that I really get to fish current. The closest current place anymore to me now is the Red River. All right, we are going to put on something a little bit more natural. I got to be honest with you, I really feel like I should be getting more bites, just because the weather, this front coming through in the fall, you know, they might have bit really well first thing in this morning, and now they're kind of just kind of relaxing now, I guess, maybe. We've got green gizzard, which is about as natural a color as you could ever ask for. But that's kind of the thing about being in a river. Those feeders are going to be on the banks or up against current breaks. Not knowing what's down here in the bottom of this creek makes me not want to just kind of randomly cast out over the center of it. Boy, it's getting cold. And of course, I've got I'm facing the north wind now. Gosh, that should have been a bite. Not because I think I'm great or anything. That's a natural. See this little spur right there? That's kind of where they should be. Sticks out, juts out, faces right into the current. One be sitting on the front side of that, waiting for a weary shad. One of the coolest things about bass fishing is just doing something like what I'm doing, just exploring something. I've not really had any personal experience, not up this high on this reservoir. Feeling kind of empowered because, you know, you have an aluminum like this to get in some of these shallower areas, but I'd never really got just to see how shallow I really could get this boat. And coming up against that laydown back there, I was pretty impressed. I was like, dude, we got up on the skinny. Of course, I've got my TH Marine jack plate. Without that, I couldn't probably jack my motor up high enough. I'd love to go up there and sneak a peek, but again, I'm running low on time. I don't know what this weather's gonna do. It's gnarly. Something that's wanting to dump on me, I think. Okay, we're gonna try a little flipping, a little white shad pattern flipping action. Let's try a little shad pattern in some areas where you just know they ought to be, especially like right there. A little current break, this little brush pile up here, brand new color from Strike King. I think it's like white icicle or something like that. Right here, dropping on this deeper brush. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the spinner, I think. I gotta tell you, once I turned around and started heading into that north wind, it got cold. Okay, I didn't get a chance to fish any of this because I was running that side of this little divider channel. This could be really interesting. See what happens here. It's getting shallow. I don't know how much further I'll be able to go here. Little guy. Super cool though. Check this out. Again, it's the pattern. Even though it's a little guy, this current sweeps down through here like that, hits that point, shoves it over here, hits this point. Yeah, it's an ideal current break spot where you just know that's where they're going to set up, and that's where he was. So that's really cool. And the thing that I think that I'm enjoying most about this is this might not be the best way to catch the biggest stringer in this little section of creek that I'm in, but I'm learning. I'm kind of just picking stuff up. It's the figuring out what's going on, the here and now, that is such the challenge with every day we put that boat in the water. Every time I back my Ranger in the water, that's the challenge for the day. And so just figuring it out, kind of keeping it loose, having fun, trying to figure out what the fish are doing. What are those fish doing below the water, right? That's what we always have fun with. This is where I got my biggest one so far, is right in here. Golly, got a better one. Look at that one. Dude, and they're all got shoulders on. Yes, whoa, look at that stocky. Look at that. That's awesome. Got a little sore on him, but he just tomahawked my spinnerbait. Little 3/16 ounce Premier Plus, catching just studs. Cool. Got to be another one in there. He came out, he actually ate it a little bit. If you notice right here, what I'm just now picking up is there's this current, and then there's a little bit of an eddy right there. That's where they're at. That's where I got my other big one. I say big one. Biggest ones of the day so far. So current sections with some eddies on them, and I think the current's even really going more than it normally would, because that north wind is just shoving that water down, creating an additional push of current. I can't help but think there's more in there. I mean, think about it. I caught my biggest one, and then up to that point, and then I come back by and boom, get another one. Little shad pattern rage bug. Yeah, one on the 1.5 and 3 on the spinnerbait. Actually 4 on the spinnerbait. Okay, we're moving on. Oh, golly, that stunk. Saw him come up and eat my rage swimmer on the flashy swimmer, and man, I just didn't get a hold of him. I don't know why. I didn't hook him. Makes me think if I just had the spinnerbait on, if I'd have caught him. Again, just right on those current breaks, right back there where you just think they'd be. Oh, it's time to go. It's getting cold. And it's, by the time I get home, it'll be supper time. I was hoping to catch myself a big one, especially under these conditions. It's not over yet. That was a quick little run down this cool little creek, and was able to figure some stuff out. Ended up getting one on a swim bait, but never did actually put him in the boat. Before I could really set the hook on him, he came off. Everything else came on the spinnerbait, one on the crankbait. That mission is getting cold. This front is here and ready to drop the temp. Whew. Take those off. Let's go put this boat on the trailer. I got on the water a little after 2, and now I'm getting on the getting off the water a little after 4, I think, maybe almost 5. I was able to get out and do some exploration in an area that I've driven over several times. Boat ramp's all washed out, but no dock, so I'm glad that I've got my Gator Guards keel shield on there. Got up that lip. Lip's a little bit difficult to get up. It's always good to get out and explore, see some new water, and just continually expand your experience level. I think I said it out there on the water how I've fished a lot of current over the years, most of the time during tournaments. So just me getting out to spend ended up just being like 2.5 hours or so on the water, fishing a little current in a little bayou, it's actually a creek. Actually, it might be a river. I have to check on that. No problem to cast across it. So it wasn't like it was a really big river or anything. Very shallow, but super cool. I like the fact that, you know, in the fall, I love to throw spinnerbaits. And sometimes they'll eat a big 1/2 ounce double willow Premier Plus Strike King spinnerbait, chartreuse and white, gold and chrome blades, and 4 and 4.5 sizes with a big old trailer on there, double split tail trailer or something like that on the back. And then other times, like in that little area, the water was so clear that I had to scale down and try something a little bit more natural, a little bit more finesse, and that was the key. They wanted that little spinnerbait. You know, I didn't catch a bunch of big ones or anything like that, but I was able to get some bites, have some fun in a relatively short amount of time. I thought it'd be the ideal scenario for getting a big one, but probably not in that creek. I don't know, maybe they catch big ones in that creek. I think that at some point they do, maybe when the water's higher, maybe in the spring. Looks like a cool place. A lot of nice stumps out there. I really do appreciate you guys watching my YouTube videos and commenting and just being a part of these little fishing adventures that I get to do. Spur of the moment stuff like that. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. Hope you guys get out there and catch a bunch of fish.